welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. I thought I'd make this video today because I'm sure there are many of you who this year for Christmas may have in fact got one of these, the Dyson AirWrap complete kit. As someone who's had one for over 6 months now and use it pretty much daily, I thought it would be worthwhile making a new video that would show you the tips and tricks that I've learned to really get you this nice bouncy blow dry that lasts until you next wash your hair. It really does work, and every product that I use I feel are my absolute saviours for making my hair into this lovely bouncy blow dry that I can use either just day to day or for a big night out. So stay tuned and I'll show you just how I managed to do it. Okay, so I start off with either really kind of towel dried hair that's probably been sitting for around 15 minutes while I do my makeup, or what I do if I want to dry my hair right away, then I start off by taking my handle and putting on this attachment with the brush. This just helps to really smooth everything out before you start doing your curls, and I actually think this is a step you don't want to miss. Obviously the Dyson AirWrap comes with this hairdryer attachment as well, which is pretty good for getting into the root, especially for me because I have got hair extension blondes. But this is the one I'm going to use today because I don't want to dry off my root too much more. It's slightly damp, I'd say like maybe 80% dry. So I'm going to just try and get the ends of my hair a little bit lighter and not as heavy for going round the AirWrap. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put in some products. So I would definitely recommend either using like a mousse or some kind of curl tonic like what I'm using. This one here is from L'Oreal. It is the new Stay Until Curls range. So you can basically just spray this through the last 3/4 of your hair. I'm quite liberal with it and it smells gorgeous. It smells like perfume. And to smooth as well, I'm also going to use some of this oil. This hair oil, which is the Sebastian Dark Oil. 1 pump of that. And I'm literally just going to put that through the ends of my hair. Literally all I'm going to do is take my hair and brush through it with this brush because at the moment it's too heavy to work with. So let's go. Turn it on. And just so you can see the difference, this is still wet, but obviously it's a bit fluffier and a bit smoother, and this is still soaking. So this is kind of where I want it to be. And if you wanted to have your hair straight, then of course you can just continue to use this until it's completely dry. Okay, so both sides still feel wet, they still feel damp to touch. Almost like you've been caught in a really bad load of rain. And then what I want to do is take this attachment off just by pressing the button, as you know, and I'm going to change it to the smaller barrels that come with the complete kit. Now I do wish that I had the longer ones, but at the moment I don't have them, so I'm going to keep using the shorter ones, which I'll be honest is more difficult because my hair is so long with the extensions, and the actual length of my hair is probably about just ½ an inch shorter than my extensions, so it would be worth investing in getting the longer length barrel because it would take it up to about here in length, and it does make a difference. So what I'm going to now do is split my hair into basically 3 sections. So I split it down the back as evenly as I can. And then I take the top section, so literally just the side of my brows, basically where my extensions start. So the whole top section of my hair is just my own hair. And then all I'm left with is this side here. So it's all nice and brushed through. The one thing that I do get asked a lot about the AirWrap, and people who are finding it not as successful as what they wish it would be, is how I managed to get the curls to stay all day. Obviously the AirWrap doesn't use extreme heat, so you're not doing that whole stretch and burn and then your hair stays in place. It's more of a protective heat that's on it. So what I think you need to do is absolutely use hair products. I do use my Style Until, which I'm actually going to spray a wee bit more on at the ends. And I also spray my hair with hairspray first. I know it feels weird because my hair's wet, but sometimes I find mousses to be a little bit unsuccessful and a bit crunchy. So I find if I use hairspray, by the time I then brush it out at the end, it seems to be a better hold and more natural in the way that my hair moves. So I'm just going to spray that whole section of hair with hairspray while my hair is still wet. Give it a quick brush through. And this is what's going to give your hair a better set. So if you're not doing this already with your AirWrap, I would absolutely recommend that you do it. Then working with my barrel that's facing away from my face, we're going to take the first section like so, and before when I started using my AirWrap I was using it like this, which you can do, but actually it's better if you use it with the barrel facing up and the handle down. So you want to turn it on and then go to the last section of your hair, see how that was curled up, last section of your hair, and hold it so the hair is in front of the barrel. And I do a little wiggle here just so we can catch it quite tight. And then once we're on, you can either just move it up to your head or you can twist it. I find if you twist it and pull it a little bit more, so you can see the tension, obviously where the hair is attached to the scalp there. Hold it nice and tight and maybe count for like 5 or 10 seconds. And then once you've reached that, you want to slide that button up and hold that until you actually feel the hair go cold. So that might vary from one section to the next, but you want to feel the hair cooling down. It will still be warm to touch, but it won't be roasting, and that's when it will set it properly. And just spending an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes doing this on each section will really make a difference, and it will mean that you can do this once and then your hair will last until the next time you wash it. So we're going to turn it off. And you can actually set these, right, if you have the time. Take a clip like this, or you can actually slide a Kirby grip up the shaft of the hair. But you can take it like this out. This is how I always hold it, like that. And you can then clip it. I'm not going to clip it today, but to clip it you would literally just take your clip like this. And then you're left with these little pin curls like that. I would do that if I was getting ready for, like, example, for a night out at night time, but I've got things to do during the day in the house. I would do this first, go around all day like this, and then take them out and brush them before I go out, just to save myself some time in the morning. But I'm not going to do that today because generally, day to day, I don't have the time for that. So I normally just try and leave it like a little ringlet. Hope you can see it properly. Like a little ringlet like that. And not every single time, but every few curls I'll give them a spray, just so we can try and get the real hold that we want. And then moving on to the next section, I take thin sections but wide sections, so they're quite fine from left to right, but from top to bottom they're the full length of my head. And then what I'm going to do is leave these like ringlets, you can really see them here up close, give them a spray. And my hair has obviously jumped up a fair amount. You'll see this as soon as I take out the other side. So here is the other side of my hair, and it's pretty much in length jumped up half, which just shows how bouncy this sort of blow dry look is going to be with the AirWrap. So what I'm going to do now is switch sides. So I will take off this part of the barrel and I will stick on the other one, so this one faces away from my face in that direction. So I'm going to just speed you up and go through this because you've seen it there for yourself how to do it. So let's just get the other side done and I'll show you how I then do the top. Just another quick tip, while I notice there's some things I do with this that I think everyone does, but I know that a lot of people actually don't have the AirWrap sitting side by side on their face like this. They have it either this way or around the other way like this, and the hair actually gets blow dried round that way. I'm blow drying my hair horizontally rather than like vertically, if that makes sense. So whenever I blow dry this and it comes out, it will obviously sit in a different direction from what it would have done if I was to go from top to bottom in the sections. I'm taking those thin sections all the way around the side of my head rather than going from layers from top to bottom. So it is important to remember that when you're styling it, because it obviously affects what kind of outcome you're going to have. Okay, so here is the last curl, and notice the way I take it off of the barrel. I don't unravel it, I just do this and pull this out so that it stays in a little ringlet shape. And again, I'm going to give it a nice big spray of hairspray and just press these up. We want to encourage the bounce to stay there. So right now I've got shoulder length curls that need to set. So what I want to do is leave them. Do not touch them. Don't be tempted to brush them out. Leave them as long as you can. Generally speaking, I will leave them around, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. I'll sometimes do my makeup, but I wanted to do my makeup for filming this. I've just tilted you up so you can really see the length at the top. My hair could probably do with a few new layers in it, right enough, but my hair's still quite long, so I'm going to tilt it up so you can see what I'm doing for the top section. Now, I think it really depends on whether you are left or right-handed. I'm right-handed, so I still keep the same barrel that faces up the way. So you'll notice here when I turn my hand, to hold the barrel this way, the arrows are facing upwards, which is what I want. I want to blow dry this back over my hair, just so that we can get a bit more volume. So I will take a section at the back of my hair like this, and then I'll just keep the rest of this out of the way by clipping it. And remember I said about how I changed the direction of the curls. So obviously when we're doing the side parts, I'm going back the way like this. When we're doing the top part, I'm going back the way this way. So the actual full barrel has been turned 90 degrees. And just like the same process, I'm just going to work from back to front, keep spraying each section before I curl it, and keep setting it. And again, you could pin this, you could put a roller in afterwards, so obviously once you curl it you could then set it with a roller and then pin that in, but again, as I say, generally day to day I don't have time for that, so I will just take each section like this. And then I want to roll it back all the way. And then obviously once you've done your cool shot by pressing the button up, slide it out and you've basically got like a little sausage here. I'm going to pin this one today because I'm going out later. I'm going to spray it just to secure it a bit more, and then I'm going to take my little clip on each side. This is the one at my crown, so I really wanted to get a good bit of volume and set in place, so I will just do this to set it. And then the last section of hair, just at the front here, again is going to go all the way back. And right now I think I officially look like a judge, but you can give it one last go with hairspray. Product, product, product. This is how it's going to stay. The one I'm using right now is the Keratin Hairspray by Schwarzkopf. Really nice, got it in Home Bargains for £4 or something, and it's a huge can and it's a number 4 hold, so it's one step away from going that really crispy hard way that you would probably use on like a harder guy's hairstyle or a wet look. So I'm going to go now, and I'm not going to touch my hair for as long as I possibly can, and then I will check back in and we'll brush it out together, and it's going to be beautiful and amazing and very, very therapeutic to watch the brush out because it just goes nice and bouncing like a blow dry. So let's check in, and I will say around 20 minutes. Okay, so we are back and it's time to brush these curls out, the moment of truth. So normally what I do is I get my hands and I shake them up from the root first of all, just to kind of separate them a little bit, and I actually use a round brush. Sometimes I use a paddle brush, but today I'm going to use my hands and a round brush just to grab the ends of them. So taking kind of curl at a time, I'm going to brush them through and then let them sit. The more you brush them up, the more fluffy and bouncy they become. Let me just get in here nice and close so you can see how gorgeous this ends up being. What I do is get the ends and flick them around with this brush like that, which I think makes a real difference. And you can see obviously these ones are much tighter, but again we can just get in the ends of them and give them a little fluff up. So if you have the AirWrap already and your curls are not staying, then I can absolutely guarantee you it's because you're not using enough product. If you're doing all the same motions as me with it, it's because you're not putting enough product in it. And because you're not relying on the heat just burning and setting your hair in place you would with like a tong or a traditional curling iron or even your straighteners, you need to rely on something else. So getting loads of product in there makes a difference. And if you're like me, then usually I would be scared to use that much product in my hair in case it made it greasy, but it really doesn't. So that is the bottom section of the hair brushed out. So let's move on to the top. For this I'm going to move it a little bit closer. So I'm going to take out this little pin at the back. So for this section only, I take it out. Look at the shine on my hair, look, it looks so nice. So I take this section out at the back, and then what I do is brush it through and I give it a slight back combing from here, just to give me a little bit more bounce in the root. Tiny bit of back combing. And then the way that I brush this is up the way like that. So I want it to sit nice and proud at the back of my hair, and then I'll join it into the rest and give it a little shake. And look at the volume I've managed to get in the top of my head, it's actually amazing. And then the very last one, like look how super curly it is. I mean, it does curl, but see if you are using all the right product in it, I mean, even the volume you get, like it's crazy how much volume you get in your hair with this. Just keep brushing it, I keep messing with it, I keep flicking the ends with my round brush just to make sure I'm still getting that kind of nice blow dried effect. And I will just keep messing with it until I get it in the position that I want to. And because I've blow dried the top part all going backwards, I can either have like no parting at all, I can have it all straight back, or I can just let it fall wherever it wants to fall. And I just think it looks really good. My hair feels light and airy and bouncy and shiny, and the AirWrap is really kind to your hair because it doesn't burn it. It's just so good. I'll just show you the top. There's literally no fuzzy hair, there's no flyaways. It's all in the one direction and super shiny, lovely finish, really bouncy. I'm going to take a little bit of hair oil and then just use this to go through the ends of my hair, just to really separate all those little flicky sections. And then once I'm happy with the way that it's sitting, I can either just spray it or leave it because it will just keep restyling throughout the day. But I just want it to stay like this now. And that is that. A proper blow dried look, like really bouncy, fluffy, big bouncy curls, all different directions. I've just popped my chair out the way for a second so you can really see this against the white background. Like all the little sections of hair are all going in like nice different directions. It's really choppy. I just think it looks great, and it really does last you through the day. So yeah, I absolutely love the AirWrap. That is mostly how I use it, especially for nights out. If I'm in a quick kind of hurry in the morning, you can use it like a tong on your dry hair. Obviously it won't be as bouncy as this, but it still gives you a really gorgeous look, especially if you set it well with hairspray. I just love it, and if you've had one for your Christmas, then lucky you, because literally the best investment ever. And I feel like going forward there's going to be so many more attachments to that product that we can keep adding to. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed watching me use my Dyson AirWrap, and if you've got one and you have any questions then please pop them below in the comments. If you're new to my channel, I would love you to hit subscribe and stick around for more, and if you have any more questions or little requests then let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys really soon. Bye!